Hello and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. This morning we have the famous, I should say the elusive Jack Daniel's number 7, the green label. Well, it might be famous, but try finding it. Unless you live in Texas or Tennessee, which would be easy to locate. It would be easy to locate this in those states. This is where this particular bottle was purchased. At a liquor store in Beaumont, Texas. What liquor store? I don't really know. Just somebody I know was going there, and I said, I'll pay you if you get me the green label Jack Daniels. And she said, okay. And she found it very easily. And I think it was $25 for this 1 liter bottle. And then she said, you can have it as a birthday present. And I got it last year. Okay. So thank you, Sandra. 80 proof. Aged at least 4 years. They don't have anything about it on the website as far as the Jack Daniel's, where it says our whiskeys, and they list them all, the special editions, Frank Sinatra series, all kinds of stuff. This is not listed. It's only mentioned briefly in the frequently asked questions, which I posted a link down below. It's a different label too, not just a different color. It's got different things on the label. A picture of the old distillery, different slogans, whiskey made as our fathers made it for 7 generations. It's just a whole different thing. Corn, rye, barley, malt. The back is different. The side is different. It says, placed in the National Register of Historic Places by the United States government. Old time with charcoal mellowed. The National Register of Historic Places does not protect a structure from removal. It's just a list. It's saying here, the National Park Service says, here's a list of places. They're historic. Speckled Tail American whiskey is the competitor today. Now, the Jack Daniel's distillery was established in 1866. Speckled Tail came onto the market way back in 2017, okay? I bought this at Walmart. It was $10.79, and that's the price everywhere. At Walmart, at least. I noticed right next to the bottle at the Walmart in Hammond, Louisiana, on US Highway 190 eastbound, there was a spiced liqueur by the same company. Wasn't called Speckled Tail. It was something else, something like a Fireball type knockoff. And I have a feeling we're going to start seeing more and more and more from Auburndale, Florida. Looks that way. Is it an independent distillery? They seem to be, but they don't say too much about their company. It's kind of shady in a way. John Anelia says, good morning, Ron. I love to try both of these products. Yes, I think you would like them. Okay, so Jack Daniel's Speckled Tail. Now, yeah, they're interesting. Now, you can go to Tennessee and get the, so if you drive to Chattanooga, you can get the green label. Well, the Jack Daniel's is a good deal lighter. It's golden, and this one is amber. So that's the first difference. Typical alcohol eggs. So they're both aged 4 years. Jack Daniel's is sour mash whiskey. The Speckled Tail doesn't indicate that anywhere. It's American whiskey. It's not distilled in Florida. It's just bottled there. More than likely, it's distilled in Lawrenceburg, Indiana, at the old Seagram's Distillery, Midwest Grain Products. I don't know that for sure. I got the sweatshirt on because it's a little chilly with this wind. It's about 70 degrees, but there's a lot of wind gusts out here for some reason, and it kept waking me up all night, these wind gusts. Almost like if there's a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico, you'll get that. You could have a hurricane down by Florida, but the wind here will be so high. It's a south wind, but it's still chilly. Oh, I thought the green label was a Texas exclusive. Well, unofficially, you know, internet talk, people say it's available in Texas, Tennessee. I know it's Texas and Tennessee because I saw the bottles in Tennessee with my own eyes, and this bottle was bought for me in Beaumont, Texas. And apparently they say Pennsylvania and 2 other states. But forget trying to locate it on a locator tool or anything. It's just, you might find it and you probably won't. Okay. So this crazy wind. Not to mention all the pollen in the air. I mean, everything around here is covered with yellow dust. golden orange dust, pollen, and people are sneezing and coughing, and my eyes keep watering. It hadn't hit me too bad, but other people, man, they're just suffering from this. Okay, and like I say, our springtime started in the last week of January 2018. It started warming up the last week of January. We've had a few little cool snaps, but and some more coming, but not too much. You know, nothing too remarkable. Lows, the lowest it's gotten since January, the last week of January here is like 43 degrees. Then it warms up very quickly. And the highest we've gotten is like 86 degrees. It's already gotten up to 86 between January, say January 25th and today. Well, let me mix them up. Forgot, blind, right? Now I'm going to redo the Jack. I'm going to redo the Speckled Tail versus Jim Beam and Jim Beam Choice. I want to be sure about those. I thought maybe I was a little careless. I don't think I got them wrong, really, or did it mixed them up or anything like that, like got them backwards. No, I just want to redo them, and I have time. There's no pressing reason I can't redo it. I'm finished with the Sacred Bond brandies, so now I've got all these whiskeys, and I can just kind of go forward with that. Not to say I'm not going to go back to brandy. I will, but that's the intention. But it could be it will be many years, because that was the reason I wanted to put whiskey off until around 2025, because I knew once I started, it would just become this big thing. And I was telling people, let me do brandy for 10 years. But there wasn't much interest in it. Like, I would get a comment now and then, and people were, and the main comment I would get was, when are you going to do whiskey? And I said, well, I have no particular dedication to either one, brandy or whiskey. It doesn't really matter to me. So I said, heck, I'll just do, if that's what people want, they want to talk about it. It didn't matter to me. And I think the whiskey is generally cheaper. Okay, a few more mixings. I think I'll be able to tell these apart, because the last one, the Jack Daniel's Old No. 7, it just, Speckled Tail couldn't hold a candle to that. Speckled Tail did all right against other brands, but Jack Daniel's beat it up. I'm talking about the Old No. 7. This is the Jack Daniel's No. 7. They're not the same even brand name. The Old No. 7 is the black label, and number 7 is the green label. And No. 7 might have been on the market as long as the black label, because I went to the distillery and they had bottles look like they were over 100 years old, green label. They say it's a younger version of Jack Daniel's, and it's there's a roundabout way of saying it's an inferior one. It's one that didn't make the cut, in other words. So they didn't want to throw it out, so they put it in the green bottle. Evan Williams green label. I don't know about that. If it's one that didn't make the cut, it's just a different like a different recipe. It's only aged 3 years and it's charcoal filtered, whereas, and it's sour mash. Well, I think maybe both Evan Williams are, but it says charcoal filtered. Regular Evan Williams black label does not say charcoal filtered. And then the Jim Beam choice was, I was looking at the old ad, they were saying this one is sour mash as opposed to regular Jim Beam, and it's charcoal filtered as opposed to regular Jim Beam, and it's discontinued as opposed to regular Jim Beam. Okay. Well, certainly has a whiskey. What's wrong with this? Certainly there's a whiskey smell, but it seems a little faint. Dried flowers, candied fruit cake, fruit, and all that stuff. But let's see over here. Oh, that one is much sweeter and more candy-like. And there's a sharp wood. Huh. That's a little weird. Well, they're not the same aroma, let me assure you. That one over there is more of a flat aroma. This one is more of a rich, bountiful aroma, which is already making me think this is Jack Daniel's Speckled Tail. But I don't know that. I'm just assuming that. Let's go with the taste. I don't want to go too long because I got to go to the store and then I got to start cleaning the house. Well, it tastes just like corn grits. I'm telling you, this thing is like, I went and got a bowl of Quaker grits. Now, you could say that's good, that's bad, that's indifferent. Whatever you say, that's what I'm tasting, okay? And that's a general flavor I get with bourbon. I think some of these younger whiskeys are as good as your typical 4 years or more aged products, just different. I guess it depends on the flavor profile that you're looking for. Yes, that's correct. I think there's no doubt about that. So that one is like all grits. It's like cornbread. You like cornbread? And I've been fussing about this for weeks. Like the bourbon's got me down because Frederick Byron says, morning from Miami. Oh, good morning over there in Miami. I hadn't been to Miami in going on 2 years. And I'd like to change that. This one, yeah, okay, of course you're getting corn. But there's more of an underneath charred oak sweetness. I think that's Jack Daniel's, and I think that's the Speckled Tail, but let's check again. Anyway, you know, the Speckled, a lot of wood now and charred oak. Okay, but all that corn. You know, Speckled Tail does not claim to be a bourbon. It's an American whiskey aged in oak barrels. Doesn't say new oak barrels, does it? Of course it doesn't say that because it's not a bourbon. Aged with care in American oak barrels. That's right. It has to be new oak to be bourbon. So you might say, well, that's the same thing. It's just one. So all you're saying is this one is put in a used barrel, and this one's put in a brand new barrel, never before use. So that one's bourbon and that one's not, even though it could be the same exact ingredients. Correct. And aged the same amount of time, same proof, could be the same distillery. That's one of the qualifying factors. The filtering is irrelevant. I had a big, we talked about that before, a big discussion with people. And oh, you're moving to Memphis soon. Okay. I went to Memphis last year on the way back from the distillery tours in Kentucky. I just drove through Memphis. I didn't stop. I just came down that highway and, oh, I was going down 51. That's right. Highway 51, US 51. I connect that 300 State Highway 300 connecting route, and then took the interstate back here. And I didn't get caught in any traffic. I just zoomed through Memphis. I mean, woo! It must have been 15 minutes I was through Memphis. If you catch Memphis at the right time, boy, you can really fly through that city. I'm not saying speeding or being irresponsible, just saying you go through it fast. Especially if you're going from Louisiana to Illinois, because you just cut across and go to Arkansas. So you're just clipping that bottom corner, you see. But their interstate highway system is real screwed up in Memphis. So you got to go off of this and take this big screwy turn and then go to this way. It's not designed right, but they'll say that on the radio. You know, they'll be talking about that on the radio, how they didn't design it correctly. Miami. I don't recall ever zooming through Miami. Okay, let's see. But this is not okay. This wind. This has more pronounced charcoal and oak. It's got to be Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels had that strong, harsh, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say harsh. I meant to say bold flavor. It's like distinct. You can't, I don't think you can mistake it too much. Now, whether you like it or dislike it is up to you, but it's pretty distinct, you see. Which one's better? Well, this one's better. Because that charred oak kind of masked the corn, you know, the cornbread, the corn grits. Oh, man, I just can't take it anymore. And I've got so much left to drink. You say only a couple of gallons. True, only a couple of gallons. Why, in only 6 short months, I'll be done with all of the bourbon. This is true. I can't wait to get to the Canadian whiskey and the dang Scotch. I've already started dabbling in the Scotch and Canadian whiskey because it's such a relief. I sound very un-American, huh? Prefer imported products over American products. Sorry, but that's my taste. I'm going to say Speckled Tail. It's too much corn. I swear I was eating grits this weekend. I eat grits Saturday. I eat grits Sunday. I drank grits this morning. I'm drinking grits this morning. Oh, Speckled Tail. That's my call. Ooh-wee. Man, this is like Apollo 13 after they told me to start a tank. I don't know if I'll ever get back to reviewing now, because after this disaster, I just picked Jack Daniels and said it was Speckled Tail. Now, I don't know if I need to do a direct abort or go around the moon to get back, because I'm scared. I mean, I'm really scared. Reaper Actual says, I've never had Green Label Jack Daniels, but I've had Green Label Evan Williams. Ah, that's a good one. Well, my taste buds are not thrown off because I drank 3 cups of coffee and I ate a bowl of Apple Jacks. And nothing gets you prepped for a whiskey challenge more than Apple Jacks and 3 cups of coffee. I think we all know that. How can I? Okay, let me try to change the subject and redirect this examination some kind of way. Well, it sure is windy. Much like when there's a hurricane in the Gulf. I can't pull it off. I don't know what to do. I'm scared and I'm confused and I'm nervous. Shock me. Make me feel better. Oh, a chihuahua. Well, okay. Well, ha ha ha. Ha ha. I might make it to where when you try to look at this later, it'll say this video is no longer available. That way I can cover up the fact that this has happened. No, that would be a dirty way to do it. Some people that do beer reviews and wine reviews and liquor reviews do that. They'll say stuff in the videos and then they'll say, oh, they don't want people seeing it, so they go and delete it. I say that's a good way to do it. Change history. There's one guy that does beer reviews, and he doesn't talk to me anymore. I said, don't you remember you were praising me? You made a video where you talked about, oh, everybody should watch my channel because I do all these craft beers, but then at the same time I'll do regular old beers and give them a fair shake. Remember all of that? He said, oh, I don't recall that. I said, yeah, you don't recall it. Naturally. So you better go find that video so you can hurry up and delete it. Okay. Okay, well, there's no use trying to drag it out and trying to dance around it. Like we say, with a bad baseball team, it is what it is. And this is what it is. I said Speckled Tail was Jack Daniels, and I said Jack Daniels was Speckled Tail, and I thought that the Jack Daniels won. Clear winner. Didn't taste like a bunch of corn grits. But I was wrong. I had them mixed up. This Jack Daniels green label tastes like a bunch of corn grits. Maybe I should add some butter and a few little bacon bits. Just goes to show you, you never know. You think you're an expert, but of course I didn't think that. But you know what I mean? You think you got a handle on it, and then you get totally discombobulated. Okay, well, that shows one of two things. Either I don't have any kind of handle on whiskey, which there's a strong possibility of that. Or secondly, it could indicate that Speckled Tail is a whole lot better than we had first believed, and that this company knows what they're doing. And this new kid on the block could be making some waves in the future here. Well, if they're sourcing their whiskey from Midwest grain products, that could really help them, because those are the masters of contract distilling, okay? Now, some people might say, I never heard of that. Who the hell wants to drink whiskey from some contract distiller? I'm going to drink Bullet or Bullet. Yeah. I'm going to drink Redemption, something good. Yeah, but both of those come from Midwest grain products. Might want to do some research on that. Well, I'm not here to answer for Jack Daniels. I'm not here to defend Jack Daniels. That's not my job. That's not my goal. I don't even care, honestly. If they win, they win. If they lose, they lose. So, okay, well, they lost. Now, it's as simple as that. It lost. Won't matter. It won't matter, because the taste challenges after the next revisit Jim Beam white label and the revisit Jim Beam green label, it's going to be over anyway. Bourbon is being closed out, folks. We're going to be moving on to Scotch and Canadian whiskey and blended whiskey. So there's very little chance you're going to see any bourbon on this channel for the next 5 years, I'm afraid. I've never heard of Speckled Tail. Is that a new distillery? It says Reaper Actual. Yes, it is a new distillery. It's called Caribbean Distillers. It's in Auburndale, Florida, right close to Disney World, right off Interstate 4, close to Disney World. This is the truth. Mainly they distill rum. Now they do their own rum production there. And you get on the website, they're all talking about rum this, rum that. Okay. That's their main focus. But they try to do a whole lineup. You know, they do vodka, whiskey, blended whiskey. Don't think brandy, though. Maybe gin. But it looks like all their non-rum products are being sourced from Midwest grain products of Indiana. So they're like a lot of companies. They're more of a bottler and a blender than a actual distiller. Although they do distilling with rum. I mean, you can look at the website. They got photos of their distilleries. Not really big. Scotch, says John and Neely. I'm really enjoying all of the Scotch whiskeys I've tried so far. Me too. It's a relief in a way. It's a nice departure from the bourbon. I'm not here to rip on bourbon or say bad things about it. Okay, I know it's so popular and everybody loves it, and and that's wonderful, and I'm glad people enjoy it. I really am glad people enjoy it. But to me, it's just getting on my nerves. It's grating on me. I'm just getting to where I can't stomach that corn grits thing. And I'm not against grits. I like to eat Quaker grits. You know, they're good. I enjoy them with sausage and eggs, you know. But to drink them, and like my uncle, he's right. You know, like I was looking at him kind of peculiar 2 years ago when he made the statement. He was like, well, you know, bourbon, they make a bunch of fancy statements. This is my uncle. He was born in 1949. He says they make a bunch of fancy statements about it. He said, but all it is moonshine. I said, oh, it is. That's what it is. Corn whiskey that's aged in new charred oak barrels. If you age it in a barrel without char, it's just corn whiskey. Like literally, you could take the same product, totally identical recipe. You put one in a charred, a new. Okay, let's take it three ways. You put one in a used charred oak barrel. That's American whiskey, early times, Speckled Tail. You take another one, you put it in a new charred oak barrel, age it for a day. No, literally, you could age it for 1 day. It could be clear as a bell. That's bourbon. Now, if you age it at least 2 years, then it's straight bourbon. This is the truth. You can mix it 49% corn whiskey, unaged corn whiskey, or grain neutral spirits, whatever you want to call it. Then you've got blended bourbon. True story. Now, over here, the third option, you could put it in a uncharred oak barrel, and you've got corn whiskey. And I believe if you age it 2 years, it's straight corn whiskey. Now, that's a fact. You can look that up. You can check me if you want. I don't ever mind being checked. I had one viewer saying, I'm sorry to keep correcting you. I said, no. Never feel sorry to correct me. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not one of these defensive people that's on the internet to build my brand and sell t-shirts. That's not my goal, okay? It ain't really about me. It's about the products. The whiskeys, the wine, the beer. And this is the way. And so if you correct me, I feel very good about that because I'm here to learn. I'm here to learn. And if you're willing to learn and you're open-minded, you can learn more. If you're closed-minded and you're trying to build a brand, you're probably not going to learn a whole lot. All right. What are your thoughts on Irish whiskey, says Reaper Actual? Well, I'm very pleased with it. I got that Drum Castle, which I'm going to put in challenges with Scotch whiskey because the Drum Castle has a lot of Scotch-like qualities with the peaty smoke. So my daughter and I did a video for Drum Castle Irish whiskey, and we loved it. I've only had the blended Irish whiskeys, you know. And then we had Jameson and the Jameson Black Label, or whatever that's called, and the Jameson, you know, there's Caskmates, and then there's the one with the stout, made with stout, and we loved all three. Yeah, we liked it. I'm very pleased with Irish whiskey. What is your best brandy in your opinion? Says, I can't read that kind of writing. That looks like Southeast Asian script. Best brandy? so far. So far. Well, probably either Hennessy Privileged VSOP or the E&J XO. The XO, that's kind of expensive. E&J, got the cork, you know. Ernest and Julia Gallo XO brandy, that's really, really, really good. And another one that I really liked, and it's about $15 for the big liter bottle, is Fleur de Lis Napoleon. It's Fleur de Lis Napoleon VVSOP. Very, very special old pale, yeah. French brandy. It's from France, but it's bottled in the United States. Also a really good one, the Fleur de Lis Napoleon VVSOP. You say, oh, it's just a cheap. Well, it might be cheap, but it's really good. So yeah, there's so many great brandies. What's the worst? Well, that's easy. The Hartley VS brandy. If you ever want to try brandy that's monstrously bad and perplexing, and in the same way, kind of on the same area as Camo, Black Ice, or Axe Head Beer, or 40 Street Legal, or Boxer Lager, get a Hartley VS brandy. It's, you almost have to admire that they could put that in a bottle and sell it with a straight face. It's beyond belief. Sacred Bond, that's a good one. I can't get into those French brandies. Oh yeah, because of that weird smell. Yeah. That turned fruit smells like turned fruit. Yeah, but the Fleur de Lis Napoleon VVSOP didn't really have the turned fruit so much. The Salignac, yeah, it has that. But not the Fleur de Lis Napoleon. I didn't find it had that. And the Hennessy Privilege doesn't really have that. It's got more of a spicy aroma. It's not like you're taking a big whiff and it smells like turned fruit. Because, like, do you really want to smell rotted fruit? I don't. Oh, well. So, all right. So we got a little screwed up today. But that's the risk of doing a blind taste test. You can't control it. It's live. You're on air. The only way you could control it was to delete the video, and then people could very rightfully call you out and call you a fake. And I would definitely call the person a fake for doing that. I would call myself a fake. So you just trudge on. You just keep doing it, you know. So we're going to do a revisit. This is the plan. Revisit of the Speckled Tail versus Jim Beam. I'll try to be very careful this time. And then in a couple of days after that, at the end of the month, the Speckled Tail versus Jim Beam Choice, the green label. And then that'll be it. No more brandy. Brandy. Oh, my word. No more bourbon for a long, long, long time. You just can't believe all these blended whiskeys I've got coming up. You are gonna either laugh at me and never watch my channel again, or you're gonna flip your lid and want to be here at my house trying all these. You know what I mean? Like Albertson's blended whiskey, aged 4 years in Louisville, Kentucky. Bizarre, but true. And I only paid $4.99. That's another true story. And the Canadian Hunter that everybody's been asking me about, and the JW Dance Scotch, and the 75 South blended whiskey, and the TW Samuels, and the Lord Calvert. So it's like I want to do it all in one day, you know, but I would die, you know. But I want to do it. Oh, I can't wait. I want to try them all right now. 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 But I can't. All right. I just discovered your videos the other day, so I don't know if you've done this, but have you done gin reviews? Oh, why'd you have to bring up gin? Yes, actually, Reaper Actual. I have done gin reviews. For instance, I reviewed Mim's Gin. Fascinating product, by the way. Taka Gin. even more fascinating, I've actually done Taka vodka. I wish I would review Taka 100 proof vodka, the Taka, but I'm not going to. I've done Crown Rust vodka. Have I made videos or have I just tried them? I can't remember because I did the Taka vodka and the Crown Rust vodka. I think I did the Crown Rust gin. Okay, well, let's try to get this right. Taka gin, Mims gin, Crown Rust gin, Clubhouse gin, Seagram's London Dry gin, Seagram's Distiller's Reserve gin, Pinnacle gin, which is very rare. Can't find that. Green Label, try to find that. You'll be on a search for the rest of your life. I did the, well, I've done a number of gins, but I had to get away from that because I started saying stuff on the internet I regretted later. Gin is nasty. That's, gotta watch gin, man. It makes you feel like somebody told me that they drank a certain liquor that made them feel humbuggish. I don't want to feel humbuggish, so I'll stay away from gin. Although I like it. Have you ever tried soju? No. I like Tanqueray dry gin. Oh, you better talk to my uncle. If he had a channel, it would be dedicated to all the Tanqueray gins. Woo, wee, wee. Well, we better get off of this. All right. Well, thanks for watching this. Thanks for watching this video production, and y'all get ready because I'm about to upload a beer review in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. It should be ready to roll. So stay tuned, people.